Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to a brand new video. I've been away for some time, but it is only because I've been sick. I'm back now, so I think it's time to make the popper dance a bit, or what do I say? In today's first case, we will look at a family that has been completely ruined due to BHI Trust. Before we jump into the article, please hop on over to the link in my description. That is the link for IFX. Head on over to the accounts section. Whether you are intermediate, a beginner, or a complete professional trader, I'm very certain IFX has an account that you are interested in. They are FSCA regulated, so safety for the clients is always going to be a top priority for them. Check the link in my description and open an account with IFX for yourself today. Family says Craig Warren's Ponzi destroyed them. As you guys can hear by the title already, it's going to be a hectic video. I do want to let you guys know that I will be delving into more Ponzi and pyramid schemes, so things are going to get interesting on this channel as we move along. The BHI Trust left hundreds of investors in financial ruin when the scheme collapsed in August last year. So because there's a lot of investors, I am definitely sure the amount of money that this guy scammed out of people is going to be a dismal figure. Although Craig Warren confessed that he ran BHI Trust as a Ponzi and was recently sentenced to 25 years in prison, it means absolutely nothing to the Smith family. The family lost millions in what they believed was a legitimate investment recommended by a family member who is an expert. Do you guys see what I'm always telling you guys with your investments? Don't get people involved. Do your own thing, and if it makes money for you, good for you, but don't get other people involved, because whether it takes 1 year or whether it takes 22 years, if something is a Ponzi or a pyramid scheme, sometime it's gonna collapse. Around 2,000 investors lost about 3 billion rand they invested in BHI Trust that Warren 60, instead of investing, used to pay interest to earlier investors. He was sentenced to 25 years for fraud recently in the Palm Ridge Commercial Crimes Court after concluding a plea deal. He handed himself over to police in October last year, confessing to fraud and misusing the trust's funds irresponsibly for 22 years. I'm sorry for laughing. I'm not supposed to be laughing, but for 22 years. Sure, you see guys, it doesn't matter how long it is. If something is a scam, it will most definitely fall flat. The Financial Sector Conduct Authority, FSCA, also barred him for 30 years after investigating the conduct of the BHI Trust and Warren between 7th February 2013 and 30 September 2023. Yo, 10 years. Yeah, that's intense. Warren was sentenced to 15 years for each of the 38 counts. If you count that all together, 570 years. But these will run concurrently. For the remaining counts, except 207, he was sentenced to another 15 years, of which he will serve 10 years concurrently with the first sentence. He was also sentenced to 10 years on count 207, which will also be served concurrently with the first and second sentences. His debarment means that he will not be allowed to provide or be involved in the provision of financial services, act as a key person of a financial institution, or provide specified financial services to a financial institution, whether under outsourcing or otherwise. However, the Smith family does not care much for the sentence or the debarment. Bruce, 81, and Karen, 58, lost 1.4 million rand of their savings. Bruce's daughter lost 5.5 million rand. Bruce's ex-wife also lost money, but does not want to disclose how much, while his son and his sons-in-laws also lost a substantial amount. Oh, that is also probably into the millions. Bruce says Warren will probably out in 12 years. In 12 years, my daughter will be 66 and she will have nothing, not 1 cent. She is now working contracts and cannot afford to save. All her retirement savings are gone. A sentence of 25 years sounds like a great punishment, but it is not. I have to agree there. His son now has to look after his mother because she was left without a cent, as well as his in-laws. This is a tough one. Karen is very bitter about what happened. The family member whose investment club recommended that BHI Trust is a good investment shrugs his shoulders when asked about it. He took all his money out for something else before the scheme came crashing down. Nobody speaks to him now and he wants to know nothing about us. Oh my goodness. Investment clubs. Do you see why I'm gonna stand firm on investing, trading, even Bitcoin things, all of that you should do individually, because these group things, if you lose, right, you are the only one that's gonna have to be accountable for it, not people that recommended it to you, although they also bear an enormous amount of guilt about it. Warren founded and managed BHI Trust and lived a high life rubbing shoulders with the elite of Johannesburg. He was also the former chair of Old Boys Association of St. Stithians College. This was a far cry from the man who appeared in court wearing a black t-shirt and sleeveless jersey. He pleaded guilty to 207 counts of fraud, corruption, and practicing without a financial services provider license in violation of the Financial Advisory and Intermediary Services Act. Do you guys see why it's important to operate with your license? If you don't have a license and you're watching, get one ASAP. Evidence in court showed Warren used less than 20% of the funds invested in BHI Trust for legitimate trading. Oh my goodness. Guys, I will stand firm on it. These people that's taking your money, it's all going to their lifestyle. I stand firm on that. He left hundreds of investors in financial ruin when the trust collapsed in August last year. His lawyer P. Du Plessis told the court that Warren turned to fraudulent practices after losing about half of the capital invested. Warren told the court that he was doing all right as an equity investor until the financial crash of 2008, when he lost roughly half his client's capital. He believed he could trade his way out of this, but ended up faking it for another decade and a half, using the funds of Peter to pay Paul, as he describes it himself. That is a smack on definition to what a Ponzi is. Du Plessis said Warren did not initially plan to defraud investors, but as his financial troubles worsened, he resorted to a Ponzi scheme. He started with good intentions, but once he began losing money, he found himself trapped in a cycle of deception, Du Plessis argued. Now, who deceived him? He deceived himself. He shouldn't have taken money from people in the first place. He was uitgevriet. He also pointed out to the court that Warren handed himself over to the authorities and cooperated fully with the investigation that followed. After 22 years of living the high life, Captain Ernest Kangale, lead investigator on the case, confirmed Warren's full cooperation. That means nothing. Warren admitted that he ran the trust without having a financial services license and confessed to misusing investor funds. 25 years is not enough for me. It's not enough. He must get all of that 500 and something years. The FSCA also indicated that Warren gave his full cooperation. Geert de Wet, one of the court-appointed trustees, told Moneyweb that Warren previously admitted to authorities that he defrauded roughly 220 people out of 1.18 billion rand. But unless the trustees' latest figure is much bigger, 1.64 billion from 823 investors, and the figure is growing. This man was working, no? This man was working. The big question remains, where is the money? Investigators could only find 4.8 million. 4.8 million of 1.64 billion. Yo, nah, this man was busy. This man was busy, man, sir. The FSCA expanded the scope of its investigation of BHI Trust last year in November to include financial services providers who may have encouraged investors to invest in the trust's products. Do you guys see why you shouldn't go out and recommend things? This is why I don't go out and recommend things. The FSCA is becoming smart now, and I told you guys that is telling people to invest into unauthorized, unlicensed stuff. You guys are also gonna pay. If Kim Kardashian can be sued, if DJ Khaled can be sued, if Floyd Mayweather can be sued, who are you? Yes, FSCA, man. The main focus of this part of the investigation is to determine whether these providers acted with due care and diligence and considered suitably and risk when advising their clients. It is also not permissible for financial services providers to recommend financial products that are not issued by licensed entities. The FSCA said then, do you guys understand? Do you guys understand those disclaimers now on my review videos? And that is because I'm not recommending shit. I'm not recommending shit. I just want to show you guys with those videos, yay. Very often, things aren't as the sellers portray them to be. Earlier this month, the Hawks Serious Commercial Crime Investigation Unit arrested Sona Pillay, 54, and Michael Philip Adam Haldane, 55, who are implicated in the BHI Trust case. According to a police statement, Pillay was arrested on Friday 31 May 2024 after he attempted to flee overseas, where he was refused entry and sent back to South Africa, where he found the Hawks investigating team waiting for him at the OR Tambo International Airport. I'm so happy that the fraudsters are being caught now. Yay! Yay! Haldane handed himself over to police on the morning of 3rd June 2024. This is like a couple of days ago. Pillay and Haldane then appeared in the Palm Ridge Specialized Commercial Crimes Court, sitting in the Palm Ridge Magistrates Court. They were granted bail of 100,000 each on 10 June. It is expected that more individuals will be arrested in this case. Yay! I'm here for that arrest. I'm here for that arrest totally. And this is why I'm constantly telling you guys. You guys can call me now a hater. You guys can call me now whatever you want to. If you promoted something outright, you are telling people where to buy it, you are giving price points, you are vouching for that thing, and that thing goes belly up, you are gonna account for the losses. And I see a whole lot of people in this industry not caring anymore where they take money from. But you know what, nah? Me, I'm gonna be as I was the whole time. I'm gonna shut up, sit back, and report on the news as it comes forth. One thing is for certain, two things for sure, and it's only experience that is making me say this. That 1.64 billion, that is still gonna grow. More and more people is gonna come forth, the more this thing is gonna be publicized. And I also need you guys to pay attention to the fact that that ex-wife that lost money, right? And the sons and the sons-in-laws, their figures wasn't publicized. So there's a whole lot of people that have been scammed through this trust, right? But they are too humiliated to come forth. So I'm telling you guys, whether people come forth or not, that number 1.64 billion is much bigger. I'm gonna need you guys to let me know in the comment section if I must make a standalone video of BHI Trust. Just going through this really makes me hungry for it. But yeah, let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed today's video. Please do smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next one, which should be uploaded in the next couple of hours. Cheers.